Hello, students. Welcome to Mr. Martin and Mr. Walters.
Second Flip Classroom, Early Civilization Edition.
This is the riveting conclusion to the early civilizations in world history.
Now, as we're going through this, again, you want to be filling out your Ancient Civilization Flip Classroom video guide.
All right, so the area of the world that we're talking about, just as a review, is the Middle East. And we're going to zoom into the Middle East right now, and we're going to look at some ancient civilizations that grew up, were established, and then for one reason or another died off or were conquered during the ancient times.
Alrighty, so Mr. Walter, what was the very first civilization to come of age in the Fertile Crescent?
Well, I am so glad you asked that question, Mr. Martino, because the very first civilization were the ancient Sumerians. And so what we did here is we zoomed in on the map and we just kind of colored in green where the ancient Sumerians lived. And if you notice, they lived along the Tigris and the Euphrates River, right in the center where it was most fertile. And so these ancient people left behind the first established culture for others to follow, and they invented cuneiform writing.
Alrighty, and you guys remember from the last video, cuneiform was used primarily to record farming transactions.
Mr. Martin, do you know what this building is?
No, I don't, Mr. Walter. How about you share that with us?
Well, this is a ancient ziggurat, which on top of was built temples for the ancient Sumerians to worship their gods and goddesses. The temples have been destroyed over time, but the bases of the buildings remain.
Alrighty, so there are ancient Sumerians down by the Persian Gulf.
And we just put them on the map. All right, the next ancient civilization, Mr. Martin, are
the Babylonians, the Babylonian Empire. Alright, now, the greatest achievement of the Babylonians was the first written code of laws, okay? The Code of Hammurabi, all right? What's really unique about this, and we talked about this in class yesterday, was the idea that for the very first time, civilization is now recording a set of laws, and for the very first time, there's a set of procedures and what happens if you break those laws. This is going to be a huge advancement of the Babylonians.
All right, so let's put them on the map as well. And then the next civilization we're going to talk about are the Hittites. And the Hittites, one of the things that they were able to do was invent a process for making iron tools and weapons, and this gave them a huge advantage in war.
Alrighty.
And so the next people we're going to put on the map that you need to know about
are the Assyrians. Alright. Very interesting about the Assyrians, guys. They were a harsh and cruel people. All right. What's really unique about them is they developed society's first library system. Now, it's not like the EHT school library, the media center where you go in and check a book out. These books weren't really books. They were carved etchings into stone, and people would go there to seek knowledge and wisdom. And the Assyrians were harsh and cruel, but again, they were credited for creating the world's first library.
All right, so we're going to put them on the map too, and you'll notice that they are kind of over top of where other civilizations were, which means that they come a little bit later and have kind of replaced other civilizations. So the next ones we're going to talk about are the
Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans, which are sometimes known as the later Babylonians. They are actually in the Old Testament in the Bible, particularly their leader Nebuchadnezzar. He built the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is around this time period, and the Tower of Babel. Neither of them are still around, but they are mentioned in places like the Bible. And they had major advancements in astronomy and calendars.
All right, notice, guys, civilization is kind of getting bigger with each step. It's getting bigger and progressing and getting bigger and spreading. That takes us to the next empire, which are the Persians. Now, Mr. Walter, have you heard of the Persians before?
No, Mr. Martin, never.
Well, some of you guys may have heard like a Persian rug, which was the fancy ornate rug, but the Persians did a lot more than that. They are credited for building a huge empire, which spans from the Asian Minor all the way to India. And their really important achievement was they improved infrastructure and roads. Roads are not only good for military and warfare, but it's also good for trading and the economy.
And you'll notice the Persians, when we put them on the map, they kind of take over. Their empire was huge. And again, they come a little bit after some of these other civilizations, and so they replace them and take over their land. The next civilization is in a little area, and they were called the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians are actually very important because hidden in that word, or hidden in the name of their civilization, is the word phonics, which is the origin of the alphabet that we use today. And so another thing about them is that they explored oceans and seas, and they are known as the carriers of civilization because they spread their culture all throughout the Middle East.
All right, they were also known as excellent mariners, guys. A mariner, think about it, is like a marine. Okay, they travel by sea, as you guys can see with the boat down at the bottom of the screen.
And so we'll put them up on the map. The next group are the Lydians.
Oh man, the Lydians, guys, great group of people. Okay, they expand the economy for the first time ever. They introduce coin money as a medium of exchange for trade. Guys, now that we have coined currency, what type of economy are we switching from? Well, that's right. We're moving from a traditional to early signs of some sort of market economy.
And also, if you want to buy stuff, now you can put coins in your pocket, and it's much more efficient. And those are actual Lydian coins that we found. Not we personally, but people have found.
During the dig.
All right.
All right, our next civilization and the last civilization to develop, the Hebrews. Bam. Here we go, guys. This is the big one. Because for the first time ever, we make the transition from a polytheistic religion to a monotheistic religion. This is probably the biggest achievement of the Hebrews. Judaism is the basis for two other major world religions, Christian and Muslim.
And the Hebrews created the Torah, which is actually the Old Testament in the Bible. So we're going to put them on the map as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the ancient civilizations that we are going to review that come out of the Middle East.
Alrighty, we hope you guys had a great time.
And we will see you in class.
See you later.